Hi everyone, Colleen here, and welcome back to Got Balls. In my last video, I talked with you about my follow-up visit at my ALS clinic, and my doctor wanted me to have an X-ray video swallow test called a fluoroscopy. Now, last year when I was having difficulty speaking, my neurologist at the time sent me to a speech pathologist. She identified my tongue fasciculations and she asked me to do a little swallow in her office, and she was concerned, recommended a test on my swallow. So I actually had my very first video fluoroscopy last year, and it's like a live video x-ray of my swallow. At that time, they were able to see that I was having some difficulty swallowing. This is called dysphagia. So I was given some exercises to help strengthen my muscle for swallowing. A few months later, the tongue fasciculations and the dysphagia were considered in my diagnosis of bulbar onset ALS. I've continued to do those exercises for the past year. However, lately, I have been having some difficulty with my speaking and my eating. I've been experiencing food getting stuck in the back of my throat. So if I drink some liquid, I help flush it down. I seem to be okay, but we wanted to see what my progress was like after 1 year. Is it because of atrophy in my tongue? My tongue is shrinking and causing food to get stuck in the back of my throat. Are some different muscles showing weakness? I can have some different exercises. And how safe is my swallow, really? Want to make sure I'm swallowing safely. So, I have my video swallow, my fluoroscopy, and the first thing we noticed right away was that we're not able to see my tongue very well. Cannot see atrophy in my tongue in that video. But what I am going to do for you is show you and talk to you about some images from the fluoroscopy. No, I'm not a radiologist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a speech pathologist. I'm simply a patient of bulbar ALS, and I'm describing and showing these things to you based on my own understanding. So, if I if I say something that's not exactly correct, please forgive me. Alright, so I'll show you here a beautiful swallow. Look at that. Bloop. Right down. That is beautiful. Okay? That's what we want to see. Now, what we also saw is this. This is my understanding of my dysphagia, my difficulty swallowing. Now, if you notice here, this is a lighter color. This is a thinner liquid versus this a thicker liquid. Okay? So with a thinner liquid, it's not exactly going down the right way. We are in danger of this liquid going down my airway. Okay, and that would be very bad. So if any liquid seeps past you and go in my airway, it could cause pneumonia, which is very bad. So, as a result of my test, recommended to thicken up my liquids. So I was given the sample here of a thickener, and I found one at my local pharmacy. They have others there in a giant container, but I really want to test these out to see which one I prefer. I was instructed to thicken my liquids to a nectar consistency. Now, if you're curious as to what that is like, here is something I came across several months ago at the end of summer. I found this in the grocer's refrigerated fruit section. And when I drank this, I just love how smooth it is. Well, now I know why. So if you're curious and want to test it out or what that's like, I am supposed to be adding the thickener to all my thin liquids. Juice, coffee, even water. So here we have the water, see? Nice, right? And I guess I could still drink it. Wow. I didn't even realize until she showed me that I am kind of gulping that water after all. So I have some here that add the thickener to. I'll show you the consistency. Notice it will be thicker. Much easier to swallow. Much easier. Did not realize I was having a problem with the thin liquid. As to the food getting stuck in the back of my throat, well, that is because the food is too thick. So, I have a recommendation for what is called a mechanical soft diet. Instead of washing liquids down after the food gets stuck in my throat, I should thin out the food beforehand, making it softer and easier to swallow. So I can still have solids. Basically, it says here, anything I can mash up with a fork is a good consistency. So, a lot of stuff I've already been eating, pardon me, ground beef, tuna, most of the chicken, Other food that I find sticking to the back of my throat, I need to thin it out beforehand. Depending on what it is, with water or broth or milk or a different variety of things, to get that consistency right before I try to swallow it. So, overall, how did I do? I noticed it crude. But last year I was yellow when I was diagnosed with my dysphagia. It was mild. Now, some people, everybody progresses differently. Might go from mild to severe in like 6 months, give or take. It really depends on each person. But for me, I was mild last year. And now, after 1 year, I am mild to moderate. So I went from yellow to light orange. Mild, now I am mild to moderate. So, my doctor is pleased with that so far. And as for me, I will thicken out my liquids. I will thin out my solids, make sure that all my food and drink is a good consistency for a safe swallow. That's what we all want, is a safe swallow. So I'll keep doing my exercises. I promise not to overdo them, but I want to keep those muscles strong. And I want to thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of my journey.